Like, nah. The recent episode had me fucked up, bro. Alright. So what we are watching now is a video by Tuv. Shout out Tuv. He's the Don. Disney Channel stars who ruined their careers. I'm trying to think of one person who Drake and Josh. That wasn't Disney. That fuck, I forget his name. He was on Hannah Montana. The white dude, not Rudy. Or not Rudy. Not that dude's from Kicking It. I forget his name. Was his name Michael? I think his name was Michael. Something like that. I think that's what his name was. Whatever.
This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Most of us Disney fans have fond memories around Disney Channel stars.
This guy, Mirko Musso. Yeah, that's what I think of.
Unfortunately, while these stars seemed on a definite path to greatness, not all of them managed to keep that spark. So in today's video,
DUI.
dive into Disney Channel stars who somehow ruined their career, with some even trying to salvage things and get back on the right track.
Robbie. Oh, I heard about this. And like now he tries to like rap and everything. Or you know, he tried doing like content creating shit.
Video. My name is Tubbington, and when I see these
What's up, Big Tub?
I'm basically saying they took a really hard hit. Saying someone's career was ruined even though they're making more than the average citizen is very tricky because it's almost
true.
Illegal. And I am not going to include actors I talked about in this video. Also, today we're focusing on a real life morbid topic. This is interesting because I literally said I wasn't going to do these, which is why we switched over to fictional morbid. But I'm always going to be honest with you guys. The fictional morbid videos aren't doing too good on this channel. They're just not. So it's been kind of scary looking for a home. What niche does the Tubb channel belong to? I don't know either. But what I do know is that I'll try my best to make it morbid, no matter what. But I came up with the idea of every time that I talk about a morbid topic, we get a sponsor to back up the video. So I want to give a big thanks to Surfshark VPN. We'll talk more about them later in the video. This video has a 99% chance of getting demonetized. It might be monetized the first 2 days and then right after. I don't know why. I don't want to be the guy that complains about monetization, so I'm not gonna be. I'm still gonna upload. And also, my album dropped on August 18th, so you can go stream it.
Shout out to the album.
Go watch the album movie. It's here on this channel.
Yeah, Orlando Brown. He
started with the video.
He wasn't Disney, was he?
Mitchell
he
Musso.
was Disney, was he?
Mitchell Tate Musso.
Look at that fucking jawline. Holy
also
fuck.
A musician hailing from Garland, Texas. Before losing his edge, arguably, Musso had a solid career at Disney. He was particularly famous for his role as Oliver Ken in Disney's sitcom Hannah Montana. That role also into a leading role in
I fought a pair of kings, so I rocked with it.
In 2010, he became host to a hidden camera reality show, Prank Stars.
They know this is the thing.
Highlights to Mitchell Musso's accomplishments because there's a lot to go over. He got into acting at the young age of 8, and even before his Hollywood debut in 2004 on the show Secondhand Lions, he had been cast in other films like Am I Cursed and The Keyman. Also, in the time between his role in Hannah Montana and Pair of Kings,
the hairstyle was
in several films in
crazy.
different capacities, including voice acting. For example, he was the voice of Kurt, Bobby Hill's friend, in some episodes of King of the Hill. He was also the voice of Jeremy Johnson in Phineas and Ferb.
I did not know that.
An unaired version of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That's
and
horrible.
Also DJ in Monster House. Musso
I
was
didn't
also
know
featured
that.
as Raymond Fig in Life is Rough. So clearly he had.
Yeah, that better not be a gorilla in his hand. I'm just saying that's crazy timing. Wait, no, it has to be a. Just happened. Why is it muted? What the fuck?
Music career running parallel to his acting. In 2009, he released his debut album under Walt Disney Records. He even got to create original tracks and perform remakes of existing songs for Disney films. He sang a remix version.
Yeah, I remember all the shorties in fucking in public school are in love with this dude.
For the film Snow Buddies, and then alongside Tiffany Thornton, he recorded the song Let It Go that was used in the film Hatching Pete, not the Frozen Let It Go. Also, in 2009, Musso opened for Metro Station. You know, the classic pop rock band that gave us the hit single Shake It. Shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake it. Again, these are just some of his musical highlights. His accomplishments as a musician are just as impressive as his acting ones. Now, what did Musso do to tarnish such an impressive resume? Well, it's alleged that it's all thanks to a 2011 DUI, as reported by People, the popular online publication. On the early Sunday morning, 3:43 a.m. on October 16th, 2011, Musso was arrested under the suspicion of driving under the influence, with the police confirming that his blood alcohol level was well over. Musso had driven through an intersection and failed to do what an officer instructed him to do. At the time, Musso was 20 years old, which was below the legal drinking age of 21. He went to jail but was released on a $5,000 bail. He eventually accepted a plea deal and got 36 months.
Oh, that eye looks crazy.
In an interview with E! Online, he said, "In becoming an adult, I have learned firsthand that stepping up and taking responsibility is the best way to move forward. I am especially thankful to my family and fans for their unwavering support and encouragement. I am glad to now put this in the past." This was after the plea deal. According to TMZ, while Disney and Musso have been in the talks to move the actor from kids shows to young adult projects, the DUI arrest led to the move being made immediately. So instead of Disney waiting for another season of Pair of Kings before making the decision, they quickly replaced him with a character played by Adam Hicks. At the time, Musso was also hosting the Prankstar show, which had aired 4 episodes by the time of his arrest. Learning of the DUI issue and fearing any bad publicity,
he was 20 at that time?
Canceled the show, making it one of the shortest running shows on Disney Channel with only 6
Adam Hicks took over Pair of Kings? Wait, what?
That had already been filmed and were being planned to air were also pulled from the programming schedule. Musso's acting career took a big hit after the DUI incident, and his music career flatlined, but it did pick up a bit in 2022. He did, however, manage to salvage the situation, given he did voice acting for Phineas and Ferb.
Is he wearing 3 shirts? There's no way he's wearing a button up, and then another button up, and then a shirt. There's no way that was the drip back then. There's no fucking way that was actually a thing.
Murphy's Law. It's even alleged that Musso's saving grace was that Disney had quietly kept him on their payroll even after binning his show.
Apparently, I mean, it worked for him.
This case is a really interesting one.
Oh, he looks skinny as
he
fuck.
didn't like do anything to anyone else. It's just you got to be on edge when you're working for Disney. You know, this was a horrible look for Disney, and they obviously just wanted nothing to do with him afterwards. But I did see somewhere the reason I thought about this whole video idea was because he came up on my For You page. I believe it was him, or maybe it was a fan page, but it was just, I think the caption was something along the lines of like, so this is what he's doing now, and he was just making music. Nothing crazy, but seems like a pretty normal dude. It just really sucks that he was drunk driving when he was 20, and you know, who knows where his career would have been if he didn't do that one night when he was only 20 years old. Like, that's crazy. A decision you make at 20, boom. Now he's 32, so damn. Yeah, whatever. I hope you learn from his mistakes. Let's go on to the next one.
He's old.
Hey guys, I just want to take a quick break to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark VP. Jake T. Austin.
Get your money, bro.
Jake T. Austin definitely took DUI to a whole other level.
Shawty's also love this dude.
Proudly embracing his Puerto Rican heritage, Jake's acting career goes back as early as 2002 when he was appearing in commercials. He was 8 at the time. He made his first credited acting appearance a year later in 2003 for a role in Kid 1698, a comic sketch in The Late Show with David Letterman, and he kept growing from there. In 2005, for instance, he landed a major role where he voiced Diego, Dora's cousin, Dora the Explorer. He voiced that character even on the spinoff, Go Diego Go. He then did voice roles in The Ant Bully and Everyone's Hero before his first live-action role in The Perfect Game. However, his debut at Disney was under the role of Chris in Johnny Capahala before he got casted as Max Russo in The Wizards of Waverly Place.
Wait, he's older than me.
Famous and cemented his career at Disney. Riding on that fame, he landed other roles between 2011 and 2014.
Oh, I thought you meant like he went with you. My bad.
Rob Fisher in Law and Order. I'd say that's pretty impressive. Well, there's actually more. In 2013, Jake landed his next major role.
That's kind of cool
Max
though.
Russo. He was cast as Jesus Foster in the famous teen drama The Fosters. It was at this point, 2 seasons into the show, that his career would take a hit. Should we say a self-inflicted hit? And he's still trying to come back from it. So what happened? Jake got into 2 DUI incidents, and they were pretty insane. First, on October 8th, 2013, he was arrested after being pulled over for driving at night without headlights. Apparently, police officers had smelled booze when they approached his vehicle, and Jake had performed poorly in the sobriety test that they administered on site. A little over a month later, on November 19th, 2013, he got into a more serious DUI incident. This time, it's alleged that under the influence of alcohol, while driving a 2010 Audi with New York plates, Jake rammed into 3 other cars in the early hours of the morning. The clip of the accident, as shared by TMZ, went viral.
Let me ask you something. You say that now you know it's Jake. How do you now know it's Jake?
Well, when we were finishing filling out like the paperwork, one of my friend's cars was one of the cars that was hit. So, you know, the officers pulled the registration. They had to open his car because he locked his car and fled the scene with his friend. So they unlocked his car and dug through his car and found his registration, and that's how we knew, because they put his registration, his address, and his name on the police report for the insurance company.
Well, okay, so what you know is that Jake owned the car, but how do you know? Now you've seen.
Oh, but no, that's when we put it together. We were like, oh, that's who that is, because like there was a bunch of people.
If you get into an accident, right, and nobody else knows, and you just cleared the car out completely, I'm talking like take out the name, the license plates, all the ID, all the information in the glove compartment. How are they gonna trace you? Like, would they have to get detectives to like come and actually like swab the car to get like DNA and all that shit?
Outside after, but only myself and one other neighbor actually saw him, and he's like, that guy looks familiar, but I wasn't really thinking of like.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That wasn't like the first thing on my mind.
They won't catch me though.
So once the police told you that Jake is the owner of the car, did you then go and look
like
Google him or something and find an image of him, and that
triggered it, and it was like, of course that's him. Yeah, that's exactly who that was.
He had been with a friend in the car, and in a bizarre twist.
Okay, wait. First of all, why the fuck does TMZ need this many workers? What the fuck? Are they all just looking for stories? It takes that many? What the fuck?
And it was like, of course that's him. Yeah, that's exactly who that was.
He had been with a friend in the car, and in a bizarre twist, immediately after the crash, he left the scene. Witnesses reported seeing him throw a bottle of vodka out the window and fleeing from the scene in an Uber. His lawyer then called the cops and told them that all the victims would be fully compensated and there was no need to prosecute. Oh, and he didn't get charged for fleeing the scene because he apparently left to seek medical treatment at the ER due to an injury to his mouth. Now, the rumor is that Jake was dropped from another season 3 of The Fosters, due to this trouble with the law. He later made a comment that might corroborate this version, saying that taking a break from acting helped him from getting out of hand. This is just speculation though, and the reason I'm saying the whole issues with the law leading him to being dropped from the Fosters could be speculation is because there's an alternate explanation. MovieWeb, for instance, writes that Jake left the show because
That's not the same guy. There's no way.
The character he was playing was gonna get smaller parts after the second season, so he decided to take the chance and play new characters. Either way, he was replaced with Noah Centineo for season 3. Also, regardless of the version of events around him leaving the show, his career did take a huge hit. That's undeniable. The DUI incident has followed his reputation ever since, and a lot of people think that he didn't end up being as great as he could have been. For instance, he got voice acting roles in 2017, including the Emoji Movie, and has some upcoming projects as
he gained a little bit of weight.
Friday, Pledge Trip, Paw Patrol, The Mighty Movie, and Daft State, which aren't that bad, but you're gonna be compared to that biggest show you were on, which for him was Wizards of Waverly Place. And let's be honest, if you compare any of them to Selena Gomez, she's light years ahead of all of them. So of course that's gonna have a lot of people compare more often than they should, but still, this dude had talent, and I don't know how to say it without sounding rude, I guess, but it would have been great to see him further in his career by now. Adam Hicks. So far, we've talked about DUIs, and if Disney stars getting DUIs,
I know this dude was in jail for a
you're about to be
minute.
shocked too with what Adam Hicks did. Our next star is Adam Hicks, whose full name is Adam Paul Nielsen Hicks. Hicks was born in Las Vegas, Nevada in November 1992, and is a well-known, multi-talented individual who has dabbled in acting, rapping, singing, and songwriting. While it's unclear at what age he began acting, it's undeniable that he's good at his craft. He's known for being cast in The Boy Next Door as Jason Zimmer, Pair of Kings as a replacement to Mitchell Musso, How to Eat Fried Worms as Titus, and a co-lead role as Luther Waffles on Zeke.
I love this show. I love Zeke and Luther, bro. Oh my god.
However, among all these, being on Zeke and Luther made a significantly positive impact on his reputation, and he arguably grew popular under
That was such a hard
77
show, bro.
episodes. Hicks' other notable acting projects include his role as Wen Gifford in Lemonade Mouth. His music
Lemonade Mouth went hard.
solid as he wrote, recorded, and got featured in remixes of songs that were used in Disney's productions. For instance, he wrote Determinate, Breakthrough, and Living on a High Wire, and all 3 of those songs were used in Lemonade Mouth. Determinate, yeah, that soundtrack was crazy too. I might even listen to that after this. Of course, these are just some highlights of his music career. Now, one thing I found interesting is that Hicks' career had been solid up until he took up the role of King Boz in Pair of Kings, where he replaced Mitchell Musso. And just to refresh your memory, our first Disney star on this list to ruin
I want to know how that story worked out. Like, where did he go in the story, and then Adam Hicks, like, where the hell did he just? How did he appear? Because wasn't he in the show a little bit prior? I swear he was. I swear he was.
Trouble with the law and somehow ended up losing his part in Pair of Kings. So what are the chances that the dude they got to replace the dude that ruined his career, this dude that was going to replace him, ruined his career too? What happened? Although to be clear, his run-ins with the law started in 2018 and between 2013 when he last featured in Pair of Kings.
No, literally though.
And other acting roles.
Literally.
The shows he featured in include Shifting Gears, Freakish, Little Savages, CSI, Windsor, and Texas Rising. Anyway, as being reported by Variety, on Wednesday, January 24th, 2018, Hicks was arrested on a suspicion of a string.
Wait, what was the Curse of Kings again?
Yeah, you heard that right. Not one, but multiple armed robberies. According to
was that like where one of them had to leave or some shit?
He's been accused of robbing several people on the streets of the San Fernando Valley area. Apparently, Hicks, who was 25 at the time, and his girlfriend, Danny Tamburo, who was 23, would go up to people walking in the area, stick a gun in their face, and demand cash and other valuables. Two of the
you're saying it's a curse. No, it's gotta be a curse working with that black dude. Okay.
North Niagara Street. Later that day at 2 p.m., they arrested him.
I think he's fine.
Found a gun and stolen property. This incident was of course shocking to a lot of people, but some felt it was within Hicks' capacity to do so.
You know what I'm realizing? What male star from Disney has had a promising future? Because you obviously like a lot of the girls had a promising future from being in Disney. That's not questionable. In my opinion, they might even have a better chance. But like, what I maybe I just can't think of any right. But like, what male Disney stars had like Selena Gomez, fucking Hannah Montana, Zac Efron? Good point. Actually, yeah. That's Zac Efron. But like, who else? But the thing is, Zac Efron's not even on like Selena Gomez, Hannah Montana, like Miley Cyrus, all that shit. He ain't on their level, which is okay. Like it's not a big deal. He's not like good for them. But I'm dead curious.
He revealed that he had 2 prior arrests on his record for first firing a gun and shooting himself in the leg, and second for battery. The 2 prior arrests had, however,
ain't that what that dude in 8 Mile did? What was his name, like Bunny or some shit? Or so, I can't remember what his fucking name was.
Been dismissed for lack of sufficient evidence.
Shot his dick off.
Robberies, it just makes it interesting that he did.
Jonas Brothers don't count because they were something before.
Bored one day and decided to rob some people.
And also, only Nick Jonas is thriving from that.
$550,000 bail, while his girlfriend was also held on a $350,000 bail. Hicks's hearing had initially been set for March 24th, 2019, but it got delayed after a judge appointed a doctor to help determine his mental state, following a claim by Hicks's lawyer that the star wasn't fit for trial. Later, he did appear in
the
court,
Blonde Twins.
To 3 felony counts of attempted second-degree robbery and 2 felony counts of second-hand degree robbery. 3 years after the incident, on June 18th, 2021, Hicks was finally sentenced to 5 years for 1 count of robbery. His girlfriend received her sentence back in 2019, where she got 3 years of formal probation. In March 2022, Hicks was
yeah. That's true. Freaking Close West and Dylan Sprouse. Yeah.
Interesting part of Hicks's story.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Jail term. And it got a lot of people sympathizing with him. In the interview, he opens up about struggling with anxiety.
I remember when this movie was out, I thought she was the baddest thing in existence. I ain't gonna lie to you. when I was a kid and I watched this movie, I thought she was the baddest thing in all of existence.
Which were worsened by the pressure of being a child actor. He also talks about self-medicating with alcohol, marijuana, and Xanax from a young age. Even worse, he had family troubles with his mom suffering from multiple sclerosis and the dad refusing to work. At 18, he was basically in debt and trying to transition from a child actor into adult roles. He also struggled with mental health issues, like delusional episodes, that were worsened by his mother's death. Going forward, he seems to be only interested in focusing on his music. He's had singles out periodically since October 28th, 2022, with many of them being about his mental health and time in jail.
The truth is, I was arrested, but right after, I was found incompetent to stand trial, which means I was not in my right state of mind during all this or after my arrest.
A little
I
chunky.
was flagged by multiple psychiatrists as incompetent to stand trial, which means I could not stand trial because of my mental state. So the judge sent me to a hospital where they put me on medication, and it helped me immensely. Then once I regained my competency, I was sent back to LA County Jail, where I had to start the process over again and ultimately take a deal.
We can only hope his career goes up from here. This is another person I've actually seen on...
I will not say the whole cast of Victorious, but I'm saying Disney specifically.
Seems like a very good...
That's Nickelodeon, right?
He seems very mature. He went through a lot. It seems like he learned, but once again, you know, I guess when you get a bad image, especially when you're related...
Realistically, you have Victoria Justice and Kat who popped off on that one.
Career. If you're watching this, bro, just keep up with your music and definitely just learn from your mistakes. That's all I can really say.
Oh, baddie wise.
DUIs, went to robbery. Now you might wonder,
who the fuck is this guy?
Well, lean in, because our next Disney star ruined his career in a way that...
Who the hell is this?
I'm talking about Stoney Westmoreland, a well-known American actor and producer born in Kingsport, Tennessee in 1970. Now, before we talk about his scandal and downfall, just like our previous stars, he had a solid career going on, spanning from 1996 to 2018. For example, he featured in prominent films like Godzilla from 1998 as a tunnel guard. He was also in Golden Boy as a producer and World Trade Center as Patty McGee. He also made appearances in popular TV shows like Scandal, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and NCIS, among others. In his most recent and quite significant role, he was cast on the show Andy Mack on Disney Channel as Henry Ham Mack, a grandfather. It was during this role that things would take a very dark turn. In December 2018, Westmoreland was arrested for a pretty serious crime.
I still don't know any show he was on.
He was accused of soliciting from a 13-year-old teenage boy via the Grindr app after he unknowingly communicated with an undercover officer on the app. The profile had been set by police detectives and operated near the area where Disney sitcom Andy Mack was being filmed. According to TMZ, the arrest took place on Friday, December 14th.
Yeah, I swear to you, like, always the common number's always 13. I swear it's always 13. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm thinking about it, because, like, no matter what, it's fucked up. But I swear that the number's always 13. He's always 13, bro.
2018 in Salt Lake City, Utah. He was taken into custody by Salt Lake City Police Department and the FBI Child Exploitation Task Force, who also found 2 novelty toys in his hotel room. He also admitted to sending explicit photos, and that the person he was speaking to told him that
you're fucked up. You're fucked up, man. You're effed up. You are beyond effed up.
Materials harmful to a minor,
you're
aka
fucked.
Exploitation of a minor. He had apparently asked the teen to engage in acts with him.
I'm calling the cops on your ass. I'm telling your girlfriend.
14, Westmoreland had taken a ride-sharing service.
I don't like staring at this picture.
Back to his hotel room. Given the serious nature of the incident, Disney immediately fired him. Within hours of his arrest, the station issued a statement saying, "Given the nature of the charges and our responsibility for the welfare of employed minors, we have released him from his recurring role and he will not be returning to work on the series, which wraps production on his 3rd season next week. So he was basically let go in the middle of filming for season 3 of Andy Mack. This swift action by the station seems reasonable.
So okay, let's say they have the whole what's it called, the whole season filmed, right? They have the whole season filmed, okay? Let's say before the season airs, this dude gets in trouble. Is it wrong for them to still what's it called? Is it wrong for them to still air those episodes even though he's in it? Like, would that be considered wrong? Like, it wouldn't, right? Because since it was already filmed and everything, and like remaking, like refilming everything would like cost like so much money. You know what I mean?
When you consider
Is that how they would think about it?
Working alongside co-stars aged between 14 and 17, and the target audience of the show was really young kids. Now, in his defense, according to Westmoreland was evaluated by a doctor who said Westmoreland, did not actually believe he was communicating with a 13-year-old. He thought the exchange was a role play with another adult online. Still, this doesn't make things any better, because why would you role play with someone who's pretending to be a minor? No. The initial charges, 6 felony counts.
You thought he was role playing with somebody who thought was trying to be 13, and you were into that?
Attracted a sentence of 10 years, but he entered a plea deal that brought the charge down to 2 years in prison for using interstate facilities to transmit information about a minor.
Yo, Riley, what's good, bro? Thank you for the follow.
And also register as a sex
offender. How you been, bro?
25 years once he's out of federal prison. In addition, he'll be required to avail all his computer devices to random searches and inspections, and to notify authorities of all the accounts he uses for the electronic communications or storage, including things like email and social media. These supervised release terms will be in effect for 10 years after his release, and will also mean he cannot interact with people aged 18 years and below without the supervision of another adult. Now, given that Disney already cut ties with Westmoreland,
that makes sense, but like, oh my god,
were of a very serious nature.
I want to know what happens if he gets caught. Like let's say like he's in line at McDonald's, right? And some fucking 17-year-old guy comes up. Yo, I swear I've seen you before. Like, is he just gonna look and be like, and then he says, yeah, I was here. Would he get arrested instantly? Like, is that how it's gonna work?
Minimal chance he's going to be picked up by any other station. Yeah, I think it's pretty much safe to say
DMs okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Full name,
Bella Thorne. Isn't she thriving right now? Don't you got an OF right now too?
Probably the youngest in terms of career kickoff amongst the Disney stars on our list today. She was born on
Is she a prawn star?
And began her acting career in 2003 with an uncredited role in a 2003 film called Stuck on You. She must have been around 6 at the time.
Yeah, this is really early fucking 2000s.
Notably, she's had roles in Dirty Sex Money, My Own Worst Enemy, and of course, she played Cece Jones in Shake It Up. Now, this last role, playing
Shake It Up, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, I always Shake It Up.
Really known for and was a significant step in her career. She also won awards along the way, including Young Artist Award and the prestigious Imogen Award, or is it pronounced Imagine? Whatever. Following the Disney role in the 2010 to 2013 period, she went on to be cast in other popular films, including Blended, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Trip, The Babysitter Series, The Duff, Infamous, and the series Famous in Love. These roles spanned between 2014 and 2020. Also, she ventured into music, and her single, Watch Me from 2011, made it to the US Billboard Hot 100, coming at number 86 on the chart. Overall, she's pretty well accomplished. So, how did she ruin her career? Well, the biggest consensus might be that she curved an image that is so distant from her Disney self. She's transitioned into a controversial and sexualized brand, which is as far as someone can be from the Disney image, and she knows it. For instance, while at Disney, she had the appearance of perfect. She later admitted in an interview that this was part of the pressure that she didn't appreciate while filming the show Shake It Up. She said, quote, "There are definitely a lot of pressures in Disney's eye to be so perfect, and I think that's where Disney goes wrong.
I don't agree with it, but that makes sense.
The image is very difficult. It's also never been me. So what is the real Bella Thorne? According to Bella, being real about poetry,
who the fuck is that?
Past struggles with abuse, and other areas of her life was a better way to connect with her fans. Again, this is pretty much the opposite of what Disney would allow near their brand. Moving on, her controversial stance didn't stop there. This is because later on, also, while filming for Freeform's Famous in Love, she was called a diva who was uncontrollable and crazy. Now, those are pretty strong words coming from a studio. Anyway, the bigger hit to her image, however, was when she leaked nude photos of herself to get ahead of
she is fucking rich now, so she should be herself now easily. And I feel like her being herself gives her more more popularity.
Quote, take the power back, posted on Twitter messages from an anonymous person revealing topless selfies of herself in the process. She said, yesterday, as you all know, my shit was hacked. For the last 24 hours, I have been threatened with my own nudes. I feel gross. I feel watched. I feel someone has taken something from me that only I wanted one special person to see. She added, I'm putting this out because it's my decision. Now you don't get to take yet another thing from me. This was a bold move from her and her fans praised her for it. However, the internet being the same old dark place, those nude photos have followed her reputation ever since. And to make it worse, Bella has continued to find herself in tricky conversations. For instance, in 2019, she directed a film, Her and Him, for P-Hub. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with directing an X-rated film, it's pretty insane to do so as a debut instead of directing shows. Regarding the experience directing the film, Bella said filming actual sex was quite a fun environment. Then, just a year later, in 2020, she joined OnlyFans.
I mean, y'all pay for it now. No, seriously, she did.
But why were they?
I mean, good for her though.
She came in and gentrified the whole thing. In an interview with Rolling Stone, one content creator on the platform thought it wasn't so good that a former Disney Channel star with many sources of income would come in and dilute revenue for regular sex workers. Now, I wouldn't say Bella Thorne's career is over, but I'm sure a bunch of angry parents would like to say that. And I guess the OnlyFans competitors. But a lot of the people on this list, they suffer from being compared to people. Not the dude that was texting the minor, but the other people, they are still fairly young. So I think they're just always with that pressure. Disney. You need to be good boy. You need to be good girl. So when they start being a normal human being, they just start getting compared. I mean, especially Bella Thorne being compared to Zendaya. Probably he gets that all the time in her DMs in the comments. Zendaya wouldn't do this, you know? Like, it has to be horrible. So I do sympathize with Bella Thorne. I sympathize with a lot of the people on this list. Not everyone, though. But I guess we'll only see with time where her career will lead her in a few years. Alright, that was it for this video. If you guys liked it, make sure to leave a like. If you guys are new to the channel,
that is a fact. That was actually a fact.
This video, it felt like an old school tub video, and this felt nice, man. If you guys haven't watched the Powerpuff Girls video, make sure to go watch that. It didn't perform too good, but it's one of my favorite videos, so make sure to go watch that. I stream on Kick. I have an album out now, and I have a Patreon where you can pay $5 to get everything early. That's really
yeah, they would. They actually would.
Surfshark, and I'll see you guys next
time. They actually
would.
I
upload.
Oh,
hey guys, welcome back.
Whoa, chill. I'm gonna say this right now. I feel like hating on Bella Thorne is OD beyond belief in my opinion. Like, she literally went from like having like fame within like Disney into pretty much becoming like a content creator, but not like a content creator as in like Twitch, YouTube, like that kind of. But like she can say she's part of like the content creators who like do OF like that group of people.